She's a freshman in high school that plays around with WordPress. Everything that she knows, she's willing to teach to her dad. Emily Lemma.
That's not what I put down. Many people like to think of listicles as useless and clickbaity. 10 recipes for your crock pot. 5 tips for your Instagram feed that are guaranteed to get you another 100 followers. Worse yet, the 15 exercises for a flat stomach. We've all seen it. Maybe you've clicked on it. Well, I'm going to give you a better listicle. That's the top 10 movies of all time. It's right here on my phone. That would be number 1, Inception. That's Leonardo DiCaprio, where he goes into your brain through your dreams and gives you ideas. It's a really great movie if you haven't seen it. Limitless. Memento, the one where he can't remember anything and it just keeps going back in time. It's really hard to follow. But still, a great movie. Divergent, Maze Runner, both of those are books. The Matrix, definitely a classic. Star Wars, I could put all of those on this list, but I'm going to say the best one is A New Hope. It's the one that I saw first. If you have a problem with which one I saw first, you can talk to my dad. Titanic, if you're looking for a good cry, that's a great movie to cry a lot. Tomorrowland by Disney, it's a really interesting one. And then Harry Potter 7 Part 2. Another great one for cries. Maybe you have a different list, but I don't want your list. I want you to write your list, which brings us to 13 blogging tips from a 13-year-old. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1, take your own photos. Maybe they're going to put that on, I don't know. All right, take your own photos. The first part of this is photos. It's good to have those in your posts so you don't have just a long block of texts. That's not super exciting. Spice up your site a little bit and put some photos in there, but not only that, take your own photos. Why? Well, this is from my site, emilylemma.com. You see how I just put that right in there? Go check that out. And this right here is my very own photo. Is it the best taken photo in the world? Absolutely not. But it's mine. I took that. It's of my work, and that's important because 2 things. The first is that you are building a connection with your audience. This is my very own project. You get to see it, and you're seeing a part of me. Now, maybe you're not talking about a project, but you can take a picture about what was in your mind's eye when you were thinking about a concept. Your audience sees that, and they see you. And that's a connection that you're really striving for when you blog. The other thing is, when you get photos from stock images, your site starts to look like every other site out there. I'm going to tell you a little story. My family and I were looking for a handyman, and we went through a whole bunch of sites, and we started seeing the same 3 images over and over and over again. You know what? Pretty sure that's not your employee that worked for all of your sites. Yeah, no. Those were all stock images. But when we found one that showed you their employees and their projects that they had worked on, that was the one. That's the one we chose. Hands down. Take your own photos. That's the first tip. The second is use headings. We already talked about long blocks of text. Nobody likes them. This is what determines if a reader stays on your post or not. Because there's 2 things to know about this world, and whether you like it or not, nobody likes long blocks of text. Everybody skims. So, get the big points out there in your headings. And between that, Put a couple paragraphs, not too much, but use a lot of headings. Because if they're gonna skim, you want your message out there. They're still gonna read it. Does it matter if they read every single word that you posted? Some people will, and that's great. But some people won't. And you still want your message out there. For them to read it, you're gonna need headings. Really important. That was a fast one. Number two, use headings. I'm pretty sure tip isn't a number. I should check with my math teacher. Number 3, have an opinion. I'm in high school. I read textbooks. I read a lot of books. Facts, really boring. But if you have an opinion on those facts, that's where it gets really interesting. I'd like to hear that. What's your take? This is a post that I wrote about a song and what this song, I think, means. The life lessons that you should take away from a 3-minute song. How much can you get out of a 3-minute song? Some people will say basically nothing. But my opinion is that you can get several life lessons out of it. I go line by line. And I take the facts and then I blow them up and I talk about my opinions on each fact. That's interesting. That's important. That's what your audience wants to hear. So give them that. Have an opinion. Because facts aren't interesting and they're not helpful. Your opinion is. Number 4, put your picture somewhere on the site. My picture, right there, I had bangs. Should probably update that. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. But my picture is on the site, and it's on the sidebar, so you can see it when you're at the homepage, and also while you're viewing a post. This is another one about connection. You're going to get through this whole talk, and I'm going to say connection a lot. Connection is the word of the day. A connection with your audience is super important. It's what makes you not a ghost at a keyboard. When I can't see you, you are a ghost at a keyboard. I don't know you. I don't know who you are, why you're putting out your facts. Yes, have an opinion, but know who that opinion is by. So have your picture on the site. You're building a connection. That's important. Number 5, always be helpful. People come to Google with questions. Your post pops up and those people want answers. They need answers because they asked the question. So give them your answer. Give them your opinion. Give them your tips. Teach them what you know. Give your expert opinions. That's what they want. Give the people what they want. Help them out. Remember that the object, the goal of blogging is to help people out. You got information, you're giving them your information. If you blog about your life, why are you blogging about your life? So that people can read it and learn. Don't make your mistakes and have success where you had success. You're helping people out, and that's the goal. That's why you want the connection, so that they feel safe when they take advice from you. Be helpful. The goal is to be helpful, so keep that in mind as you write. This right here is actually about speaking. This post is about the upsides of not using notes. And I'm teaching you. I'm being helpful. And that's the goal. Remember that. Tip number 5. Big number. Remember it. Always be helpful. We're getting through these pretty fast. This is good. Tip number 6. Allow comments. This can be scary. I know. Because you might get hate comments. But comments are also a great way to connect with your audience. And that's what we're striving for. You want open communication with your audience. I've gotten comments that range from, what are you using on your site as your theme? I'm using Aster. All the way to, how do you know what to write? I'm a blogger and I'm struggling and I don't know what to write. And I help them because help is important. We just talked about that. Comments is a great way to connect with your audience and build that community that you want. However, like I said, it's scary to get hate comments, mean comments about your post. Yeah, this wasn't your best. I don't agree with what you're saying because you put your opinion out there and I disagree. So delete anything and everything that you find to be mean to you or your community. Protect them. It's important. And tip number 7, don't worry about looks. This is my homepage. Nothing super special. Has my name and my picture and my posts. Is it beautiful? Maybe not. But that's not what's important. What's important is the content. Because people come to your site not looking for something beautiful to look at, but to answer a question, to know about you. They're coming to your site looking for the content. So don't focus all of your time on what your site looks like. Focus a little bit of time there and then move on to your content. Because that's what people are looking for. Tip number 8. This is one of the biggest. Have an about page. Your picture's not enough. Your about page is all about you. You're going to tell your audience about yourself. Why should they believe you about your opinions? What's your experience? Tell them some personal stuff too, like what's your favorite color? I don't know. Make it personal. This helps your audience connect with you in a way that they don't connect with some other websites. This is my about page. Maybe you've been reading it, I don't know. But this helps you connect with what I'm saying. And this helps you know if you'll be able to relate to me when I talk about my experiences. I have a friend, her name is Nevaeh, and she posts about fashion. I know her, and I respect her opinion. I respect it more than I would respect the opinion of Cosmopolitan. Yeah, they're super successful, but I don't know who the heck is writing for them. How do I know that I can trust what they're saying? But I can trust my friend, Nevaeh, because I know about her. Now, there are people across the world that don't know about you. They aren't your personal friends, but with your about page, they can feel like they are your personal friends. They know you, and now they feel comfortable with you to go into your posts and read them and understand you and where you're coming from. They get it, and they will respect your opinion too, more than they'll respect other sites. Tip number 9, finish when your thought is out. A lot of people struggle with how long should my post be? Should it be 500 words, 1,000 words, 12 words? I don't know. One of these posts is over 20 paragraphs long. That's intentionality. I had a lot to say about that. Don't tell my English teacher this because she'll have me do extra work, but that's over 4 or 5 paragraph essays. And I wrote that in like one night. The other isn't even 5 paragraphs. I didn't have a lot to say about pen pals. I thought it was an important post, but there's not much to say about it. You explain what it is, you explain why it's important, boom, you're done. There's not really a perfect place to end your post, because it's not really important. What's important is that your thought is out. Your content is out there. People will read it if you're using your headers. So, don't think, all right, I've got to make it to 500 words. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. I have to make it to 1,000 words. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. 2,000 words. It's not how far you can go. Finish when your thought is out. When you've completed what you were going in with, what you were going to try and say. When you're done with that, when you've written what you can write, you're done. And that's it. And then you hit publish and you're done. But you don't have to hit publish. There's this handy dandy little button called Save Draft. I really like this because you can tinker with the post until it feels just right. Especially if it's a post that's near and dear to your heart. Some of those posts that are really important to you will come out super fast. You'll write it all in one night and it'll be great and it's perfect. And you're like, all right, I just did that because your heart knows what it wants to say. Others, you'll want to mess around with for a bit. You want to make sure that what you're putting out there is what you truly believe. So hit the save draft until you're ready to publish. Don't leave it in your drafts forever. But it's okay to use that. You don't have to be done with a post after you're finished with your first draft. But by all means, hit publish. This is not from my site. This is actually from my lovely mother's, right here in the first row. Say hi, Mom. She runs a site called giftedlives.com. Go check that out. It's a lot of stories about me and my brother, so maybe don't check it out. But yeah, she is a victim of the infamous imposter syndrome. She doesn't want to hit publish. She's so afraid to hit publish. What if it's not good enough? But her posts are great. So figure out for you what it's going to take to hit publish. For my mom, she likes to run it by me, and then my brother, and then my dad, and then like 5 other people on Facebook, I don't know. She likes to check back to the prompt, which is usually a question asked by someone on Facebook, and then she's like, all right, I'm ready. Click. For me, a long time, it was asking my dad, hey, is this all right? Is this a good post? Now, I just have to take a deep breath and be ready and hit it. Because I've been blogging for 5 years. Whatever it takes for you to feel comfortable enough to hit publish, that's what it is. Use it. Do it over and over and over and over again until eventually all it takes is click. Number 12. This one is one of the hardest to follow. Keep at it. I had a really hard time with keeping at it for most of that 5 years. There were times where I would take 3 months off of blogging because I didn't know if I was going to have anything good to say. The most recent one of those was I blogged in October and didn't blog again until like 2 weeks ago because I was so nervous. You're probably wondering now, why am I listening to her? But it's okay to take breaks. But you have to keep at it. Take breaks with the promise that you're going to come back and write more. Don't throw the site away. Don't say, I'm never doing this again, because you should. You should keep going. And eventually you'll get into the groove of it, and you'll keep writing, and you'll keep writing, and you'll enjoy it again. But don't give up. This is my post dashboard. It's full of posts. And yours might not be there yet. And that is perfectly okay, because it took me a really, really long time to get here. Don't check the dates on those. There are big gaps in between. But yeah, it'll take time, because you have to keep going. Over and over and over again. Keep hitting publish, save draft, and then hit publish again. This last tip is one that not a lot of people want to hear. I get a lot of excuses, but you will find your voice. A lot of people have questions about, how do I find my voice? Well, how do I know what words to use? Is this word too big, or is it too simple? How do I know what punctuation I should be using? Should I use that semicolon? Is this a comma splice? Is that okay? Is this creative writing or formal writing? I don't know what to say. Don't be worried, because it will come naturally, with time, with keeping at it. And you'll start recognizing it. It's not about choosing a voice, it's about letting your voice come to you. Do you use a lot of compound sentences when you write? Maybe you do. That's your voice. This is a post where I have a question mark and an exclamation point and a heart. I wrote this when I was little, okay? Don't judge me. That's my voice. That's how I write. I write really casually. Maybe you write it like this is your college entry essay. If that's how you write, then write like that. That's totally fine. But don't try to go looking for your voice, because your voice is already there and it's inside you, and you just have to wait until you find it. And when you find it, it'll be a big moment for you. You'll realize, I've had this the entire time. And that's your voice. Those are 13 tips. It took me a really, really, really long time to compile this. Writing this speech didn't take too long, but to get here with 13 tips took me 5 years, And in 5 years of your blogging, you'll have 13 more tips. You'll have your own. And in 5 years, I'll have more. Because it's a journey. That's a little bonus one. Blogging is a journey. Thanks for coming. I really hope this has helped you. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. You can check out my website, or you don't have to. I don't. That's you. But feel free to reach out to me while you're here. I want to know you. I want to know your story. I want you to be a part of this community. I'm making a connection with my audience. And I wish you the best of luck with your blogging journey.